Keblusek. I'm the Chief Innovation and Technology Officer at Sentinel Technologies. I'm here today to talk about rapid acceleration and transformation. I'd like to start with thanking the Channel Company for having me speak at the BoB conference, and also thank you for naming the conference after me. I'm very flattered. Also very humbled with the other highlighted speakers today. Many are partners of ours, and just to be in that company today speaking to all of you, very appreciative, very humbled, and I look forward to talking about how Sentinel innovates and accelerates. So the introduction to my presentation was that innovation is alive, and it is. It needs care, it needs feeding, it grows. That's the approach we take at Sentinel. As a solution provider, it can mean many things, but it must be aligned with customer demands. We adapt digital technologies for our customers. We adapt it to their business needs. We help them with the adoption. We aren't necessarily inventing things. In some cases we are, but it's often around efficiency, customer experience. And innovation is something that you need to take very seriously in your organization to continue to match the market and match your customers' needs. So I'll talk a little bit as we go on about how we do that at Sentinel and how we, as a solution provider and a managed service provider, help our customers going forward. When I reflect upon Sentinel's history, I think back to 1982. I wasn't yet at Sentinel, but the innovation that the founders had in creating an alternate maintenance company to IBM. Higher value, lower cost, and that was the foundation of the organization. Focused on customer service, focused on customer experience, very specifically to a maintenance and technically managed service product even back in the day. Over the decades though, we've had a number of different innovations. The 1990s really accelerated us into a solution provider, value-added reseller. Many of the partnerships that we enjoy today were formed during that period of time. So it was a period of rapid acceleration, but as you can see from the chart, it still pales in comparison to 2010 and 2020. A big difference that happened then was becoming a cloud service provider. Becoming that cloud service provider gave us a platform to accelerate innovation. On that platform, we are able to deliver a number of services, and a number of those innovations that you see are a result of that investment. Also, the disciplines that we formed during that period of time make a big difference on the customer side of the experience. Customers now lean on us for managed services, whether it's on our own platform or our own cloud services, but Cloud Select really represents private cloud, public cloud, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. We can deliver services across all of those platforms today because we created agnostic platform services, as well as we've done it with our services and our platforms that we use in-house, including ServiceNow, Splunk, also a lot of open source that we've put together to deliver our services in the Sentinel way. So now I'd like to transition a little bit, talk about the pandemic. I don't know that a conversation these days would be complete without it, but I want to do it in a way to talk about how innovations and things that we have done in the past helped us to help ourselves, but also to help our customers to make the transition and adapt to the new normal, as everybody refers to it today. So the pandemic brought upon work from home, security risks, increase in incident response. Sentinel's history of innovation has helped us and helped us prepare for that event. We didn't know the event was coming. Nobody really did. But the things that we had done the years prior really helped us via the platforms that I referenced in the previous section, as well as the services that we brought to the market. So when our customers called and asked, we were prepared. As Sadia put it in his quote, we've seen 2 years of acceleration in 2 months from a digitization perspective. Chuck Robbins as well said many great opportunities as every company and every industry accelerates. We had customers in manufacturing that had different needs than our healthcare customers, than our education customers. And we were able to help all of them in all industries because of the things that we've done in the past. We were able to actually create visual task boards, bring on customers with some of the offers from our fellow partners that were available to them to do collaboration immediately, to put in things like Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, to start to collaborate, to start to teach. Also, we were able to help our customers to accelerate their production lines from a manufacturing perspective to meet the new demands, many that were unexpected. From work from home. So some of our manufacturers that actually expected declining revenues saw increasing revenues, but they now had to fulfill that demand via social distancing. All of those factors came into play in all of the innovations that Sentinel had done in the past, such as our public cloud adoption, our SaaS adoption, accelerated security, our incident response, because we did see an increase in incidents that occurred during the pandemic. All of those things came together for us to bring our customers solutions to their needs in a very, very accelerated way. And that acceleration isn't going to stop. We feel that in the future, a hybrid workforce is going to be a thing that's the norm. People will get back together. People will get on flights. People will go have meetings. That's going to be normal again. However, the hybrid workforce is here to stay, and the digital acceleration is required to get you there. So as Chuck put it, many industries and most companies have adapted a digital first strategy. So how do we take that going forward? One of the things that happened during the pandemic is people deployed a lot of technology very rapidly. The 2 years of digital acceleration happened in 2 months. Well, that was done with some shortcuts. Things like security, governance, risk were not taken into account as they would have had that taken 2 years versus 2 months. Those are all innovations. Those are all things that Sentinel has created. Sentinel has ready to help our customers take those rapid deployments and turn them into permanent productivity deployments for their organization. So we really look forward to the future. We think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity, as Chuck mentioned, and we're looking forward to doing it together. Wayne Gretzky said he would skate where the puck was going to be, not where it had been. In order to do that ourselves, we've created our Office of Innovation. The Office of Innovation is a group of individuals, enterprise architects, and what we continually do is look at where the market is going to be, and we like to bring those solutions together. We measure the impact, the pipeline, the pace, and the involvement necessary in order to innovate. We're trying to do those things before our customers even realize they have a need. We listen to our partners. They're coming out with new products, new innovations themselves. We take those into account, we map those into customers' business needs, figuring out what will be next, what will they need, and we offer that to the market. So we will put together programs and practices in a measurable way, in a persistent way, in order to accomplish those goals and to come out with those new offerings. Some of the components that make up the Office of Innovation are critical to talk about here. So if you're going to do this yourself, you're going to want to make sure that you're thinking about all of those things. It takes executive sponsorship. So it's a team within a team. So it needs to have ownership from the top down within the organization. It needs to be a cross-section of all the areas. It must be aligned with the business. I can't say that enough. I've mentioned it many times in the past, but you have to align with the business, your business and your customer's business. So you might be a solution provider that's in a very specific niche. Maybe you do SAP consulting as an example. You would want to align very closely with the customer's business and with that partner in order to provide the best innovation that you can to differentiate your company. Because what's your unique value prop? It's going to come from innovation. It's also a culture. You need to promote ideas. You need to create a culture where ideas are received. Not all of them can be addressed, but many of them will come from the field, will come from customer experience, will come from your sales team. And these are great ideas that you can take in and you can build innovation around. You need to eliminate obstacles. So promote and encourage that communication throughout the organization and do it with purpose. You need a clear definition and scope. So larger innovations, write a scope. Build this out in a way that's very formal, very structured, and make sure it's measurable. We'll talk a little bit about what we measure. We won't go in depth on all of the different details of the measurement, but we do have key performance indicators that we are measuring from an innovation perspective. We also are measuring the outcomes. And we check the outcomes against initial expectations. I mentioned earlier it's agile, so those can change on the fly, but we put a system in place, some measurements in place in order to accommodate that. Throughout the discussion so far, I've used the word innovation. So let's talk a little bit about how we go about that and how we treat it as a program. This isn't something that I want to use very loosely. It is something that we take very seriously at Sentinel. We have an enterprise architecture and innovation team, and that's really all they do. But it's not them alone. It's tiger teams of people as well, across functions of the organization that include admin, our pre-sales engineering teams, our sales teams, our post-sales deployment teams, and our managed services teams. So all of that really comes together to define innovation at Sentinel. And we measure this. We measure the innovations we've launched. And there's many of them. Depending on any given year or any given market condition, it can accelerate, increase, or decrease. And we built an infrastructure that is prepared for that. The Tiger Team activity. These are regular, recurring conversations, and we invite our partners. Some of the partners presenting today have been in multiple of our Tiger Team presentations, talking about their innovations, the products that they've built, that they've brought to the table, so that we can listen to those. We can hear about what those bring for our customers, and we can offer our customers solutions that meet their needs, leveraging some of the innovation from our own partners, as well as education. So when we do all of this, when we create these new things, how do we educate our sales force? How do we educate our customers? That's all part of the innovation program. And then we track what's in developing, and we discuss those on a regular basis. It's really more of an agile approach, because there may be innovations in process, and then something happens, maybe a pandemic, and we have to pivot, we have to change, we have to accelerate in other areas. Well, we keep those. We keep those on the shelf, ready to go, and then we take a look at market conditions, and we bring those up again. And we can just pick up where we left off because we have this formalized program. So it's really about a program, it's really about a system, and it's about taking it seriously for your organization. So to wrap up, embrace change, innovate rapidly, do it in an agile way. I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time today, and I hope that you got a lot out of this presentation. Thank you.